We may have discussed this previously, but it feels like I have beef with the weather. Better yet, the weather has beef with me. Because anytime I talk any amount of shit, the weather just goes, hold my beer. Yesterday, I talk about how the weird, warm October that feels like not October was getting to me. And now, it looks like it's about to storm like a SOB. Well, I'm gonna be late to work. And that's the funny thing is I'm not, like, I'm here. So, they are totally redoing our parking lot, which is a gravel parking lot. Now, to be fair, there are some pretty gnarly potholes. So, I appreciate that because it's going to make, hopefully, life a little bit easier. Anyway, so that's fun. I'm now late to work because I had to flip a bit. I guess we park here? Yeah, I guess we're gonna park here. Okay. I don't know. Weird day. Already off to a great start. Well, the regrading of the back lot is finally done. As you guys heard, it was going on and it was excessive. It was like shaking the back office. So apparently that's all done and taken care of, which is nice. I'm glad that that's over with. I think I'm good to park back here. I do not believe they are going to be back. They said mid-afternoon they'd be done, and it looks like they're done. Cool. Primo parking spot. Let's go. Yeah, apparently an email went out, which I didn't see, because, I don't know. But apparently also not checking my email is, like, the cardinal sin of all cardinal sins. Which, okay. Whatever. Anyway, today is kind of whatever. I'm over it. I've been over it since literally the second I stepped foot in the office. So, hopefully we can just power through the rest of the day and then get home, because that's really all that, like, I'm just counting down the minutes at this point because I'm over it. I'm ready to be done, ready to go home. After 8 grueling hours, it's finally over. It was also finally cold enough to wear one of my favorite shirts. It's like a short sleeve, I think it's a Henley. I call them waffle shirts because they kind of give me waffle, but I think it's a Henley. There's my short sleeve one. It's tough. Let's close the store. Another victory for the OJs. Taking on a look day. I almost forgot I parked around the side of the building. I went to the back door, and I was like, wait a second. We didn't park in here today. Goodness gracious. Ugh. Man, oh man. Well, feels good to be done for the day. I guess that's an upside. That's positive. For the right now. For the right here, right now. Long day though, chat. I'm gonna keep it honest with you. I'm gonna be real. I'm not gonna go full negative. Couple of reasons. One, I know who watches these vlogs, i.e. my coworkers. So airing out the dirty laundry is frowned upon as management. Two, I don't need to delve too deep into the negativity. I like to keep these as, no, on like the green side of positive as possible. Even if it's a razor thin margin, I try to keep it that way. Wow, the back lot really doesn't have many bumps in it now. That's so exciting. But yeah, today was a rough day. It was a long day. I'm just ready to go home, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm very glad to not be in that stinky warehouse anymore. But I gotta go back tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow won't be as hostile, as rage-inducing. I'm hoping that we have good vibes tomorrow. You never know, but I'm praying for good vibes. So yesterday we played RV There Yet, that game I was talking about. I was a little bit sad to see that the developers have one map and it's a set map and that's it. I do appreciate the fact that it's like a game jam game, so like it was designed very quickly and it was made very quickly. That's super cool. As somebody who likes to take on ambitious projects and then never finish them, or be stuck on a bunch of stuff and like never finish them, it's cool to see a game come out that quickly. It's very fun too. Not that I didn't think I was gonna have a great time. I thought I was gonna have a blast, and I'm glad to be proven correct by how much fun it is. So hopefully we get to finish it tonight. I don't know how close we are to finishing it. I guess in the Q&A, or the frequently asked questions, he said it's like a 6 to 7 hour experience, and we did 4 last night, so we should be close to the end, but I don't know. I hope also he makes more maps, or they make more maps. I don't know who he, she, they, I don't know. But I hope they make more maps for the game, because it's a really fun experience. And I love some good cooperative friend swap. Some people say that as like a negative term, and I'm trying to change the connotation behind it. Having stupid cooperative experiences with your friends is fantastic. We need more of that. Cooperative gaming is a blast. Especially cooperative gaming like this, where it's not just like hee-hee-ha-ha meme. It's hee-hee-ha-ha meme and problem solving in terms of trying to like look ahead on the road. I'm not going to get too deep into it, even though I just spent a couple minutes on it. All in all, great game, and I'm very excited to go home and play the rest of it. I'm also just ready to be home. Anywho, so I decided to merge yesterday and today together for the sake of content, because I didn't really record a whole lot yesterday outside of my pre-crash out and sorry, I was locked in on that. Anyway, my pre-crash out, not loud noises, so I'm merging. Also, when I ended stream last night, I hate being vague. Even though I'm vague a lot, doesn't mean I enjoy doing it. But I have something that I started, I want to say 2 years ago, a project. I call it Project P. And I started a couple years ago, and I literally did it for like 2 days, and then dropped it. But for whatever reason, I've got the itch now more so than ever. And so I've been working on it. And so I tried to work on it yesterday before stream, and I couldn't figure it out, and I just had to start stream because it was getting late. And then after stream, I did a little bit more troubleshooting, finally figured it out. So with that in mind, I now have actual progress, and I've been working and trying to figure out how to do it. So I'm considering doing streams on it and doing not necessarily a video series, but like one big comprehensive video on it later. But for right now, I'm going to be vague. And for that, I apologize. I'm also late for work. Officially reached the halfway point of the day, ladies and gentlemen. I was so confused for a second. There's like a turn lane And the car, I just looked like a car drove through another car. That was weird. That was spooky even. Ugh, man. I am ready to go home, ladies and gentlemen. But I can't. I have to keep working. Ugh. But it's going okay. Currently, looking around at we got some unfortunate news Tuesday. One of the brands that we carry that they do like sweet potato treats. And they're not, like, local is a bit of a stretch, but they are local adjacent. But with that in mind, one of the brands that we buy sweet potatoes from decided, and again, I don't know when this happened. I feel like I missed a memo somewhere, or we as a company missed a memo, but they decided to no longer produce sweet potato treats. They have totally pivoted it into shampoo and supplements. And apparently they sold off all of their processing products or processing equipment to like cut up the potatoes and cook them, whatever. They don't cook them, I think they freeze dry them. Anyway, but apparently they sold all of them to a company, and they're training the new company on how to sell their old products. It's a very weird and confusing system, but TLDR, we can't get those sweet potatoes anymore. And that's kind of been my mission today, is finding a brand that makes similar products. Because they're not just sweet potatoes. They're like sweet potato fries that are real thick, and they're decent chews. They don't last forever, but they last longer than a traditional slice of sweet potato might. So I don't know. That's kind of been a struggle, and that's been the mission for the day. It might sound boring, and that's because it kind of is. 6 more... Camera, lock in, please. 6 more minutes. I just want to go home. Oh, another victory for the OGs. Taking down the work day. Oh, man. That cool fall air. I love it. Love it. I'm sure I'll hate it in a few months, but for right now, ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm loving it. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Yasser has a lot of deliveries tomorrow, unless Yasser calls out, in which case I have a lot of deliveries tomorrow. Work was work. What is there to say, really? It was another day in the office. I got some orders approved, so I got to place some of the orders I've been working on for a couple weeks now. But so that's great, that's cool, that's fun. Why is my blinker? But aside from that, it just was kind of like, whatever. Definitely glad I'm combining days. And maybe I think that probably subconsciously was something I was considering most of today, where I let my foot off the gas because I was going to combine days. I have a lot of ideas in terms of how to vlog going forward. Like what and how. We'll talk about that later. Anyway, apparently there's supposed to be a little bit of a storm this evening. The wind is a-blowing. The clouds that we can't really see because it's dark out. But the clouds were kind of wicked before the sun went down. So we'll have to see. I have noticed, and McKenna and I were talking about it, because this morning when I got up for work, the power was out. And we were the only ones without power. And McKenna was like, did we forget to pay the light bill? And no, we paid the light bill. So it's just like weird how frequently and how much we're losing power. Like, I don't know. It's less than ideal. And I have noticed there's been some weird outages. Now, to be fair, they are doing some work up the road, but at the same time, though, we were literally the only house without power. That's why we thought the power bill had been cut, because all of our neighbors had power. So I don't know. Kind of a weird thing to keep in mind. Hopefully, whatever they have to do to fix things, they can, so this isn't an issue anymore. I was on the topic of power. When we were at Fort Worden last weekend, it's a very windy point because it's like right on I think it's the Straits of Juan de Fuca, or yeah, I think I said that right. Anyway, so it's like right there on the water. So they get a ton of wind. Also part of the conversation, quick sidebar, was that in all of my years of going to Fort Worden, and I've been going to Fort Worden since I was like 7, I think I've only been one time where the weather was nice. Aside from that, it was like overcast, super windy, rainy, what have you. There was one day on spring break where it was nice, and then the rest of the trip, the trailer felt like it was going to flip over. That aside, though, their power grid, the way that they have it set up there, must be nuts, because the amount of wind. Now, again, there's not a ton of trees because it's not a very tree-safe environment due to the wind, but I mean, unless I just don't know, and it's possible. It's possible I don't know ball, but the fact that there wasn't even a doubt for any of the people that were up there, like, because there's cabins, there's bars, there's all sorts of stuff that's up there. Like, power wasn't a problem for them at all. There was crazy winds. Sophie's mom, I guess, told court that a tree had come down on one of the roads that she was taking to get home. So, like, it's wicked. And they must never lose power. I mean, it's possible that they do, but still. Anyway, though, I think we're going to finish RV there yet tonight on stream. I'm working on Project P. That's what actually I'm probably going to do for a little bit before the start of stream to let everybody get home and get on. I worked on, I mean, I talked about this earlier. I worked on it last night for a bit. But man, I'm full of ideas right now, and I want to strike while iron's hot, so when I go on my next hiatus of not working on it anymore, I've actually made progress.